Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a non-bingo-y rack, but I've got good scoring tiles in the J and the Z. I've got jizz on my rack, but will it play on the board? That would leave G-I-I-N, which is not a great leave, but the N and G definitely help the duplicate I. Now, 28 for opponent, and they have not provided the spot for jizz. So, what to do? I can get my J and Z, or Z rather, tripled in column 6 with Jin or Zin. I could play Zing, but that takes a Y. Is there any way to get rid of J and Z? And what about playing ING with either? So I've got Jingo, 26 points. I think the column 6 plays are better. So what about playing just Zin? Yeah, if I play Zing, I'm setting up a super hot Y spot. Zin provides very little. It does take an E at the end and a G. But I think this is the best I have seen. Just as I pressed, I don't feel I fully considered row G plays, beginning ZI. But Zin may have been better. Now, Wynia for 26 from opponent. What do I have? I don't think I have a bingo here, but surely I can get rid of the J and leave a bingo-y rack leave. JE not good. I chose Zin over Jin last turn, not just because of the score, but because Jin takes a D in front. Of course, if I'd retained the Z, that could now play next to the E. J can't play anywhere in columns 3 or 5. I'm not sure if Gay Jin is still good or whether it's a deleted slur. Anyway, I need to play off J, I need to play off I. Oh wow, I've got Jin in row K, but again that takes a K in front. So I can play Jirga. 30 points, decent score, decent rack leave, creating 2 hotspots, albeit the one in the centre is much better than the one on the left. That's 30. This is 19, an 11-point sacrifice, but retaining this rack, which goes pretty well with floaters in Wynia and Wanted. I'm going with Jizz. Now, that doesn't look a great pick. 2 vowels. I've got the Asian ending with GI. Gyration's a Y, not an I. I have rigatoni, row N. Wow. Will that stay available? Opponent surely unlikely to play in row N themselves unless they've got a bingo. But of course they could play in columns 3 or 5. So do I have an alternative bingo? Does this make anything with an N? I've got the anti-prefix with GIO. Oh, fantastic. Rigatoni remains available. So do I have anything else? N is in nice position. Ignition doesn't use an A. Anti, I was considering. Antigoni, I don't think is good. What about an E? Doesn't look good. Likewise with I. 15 minutes on my clock. Could there be a 7 with this rack? If so, it would play in column 11. No, and have I exhausted ing words? Well, I think so, because iota doesn't look promising. So rigatoni for 65. Oh, not a great pick. However, S and E, R and A are all welcome. It's A, U and V, which aren't. Let me not discount a bingo too quickly. There is a floating N. Not seeing anything there. 45 for opponent, but they burn a blank to achieve that. So I lead by 3 points. Now, rigatoni takes an S. What do I have which goes underneath the I? Only an S, so let me see what this scores. 29 points, decent rack leave. But if I could play off VAU, I would be keeping a fabulous rack leave. Can I do that and score well? Ooh, I thought I had it in row M. Vox and Anne are good, UI isn't. UVA is the anagram of VAU. Nothing goes in front of TO. Ved not good. Vag not good. So this is the only spot I could see for Vor. Oh well, UVA in this spot. 18 points, that's not bad, and a decent score, and I was only getting 29 for Suave. This is definitely superior. I'm going with this. And I draw duplicates and another U. That's grim. And opponent takes the lead. So, do I have anything with a floating N? I have the un prefix. Not seeing anything. Good score for opponent. Anything ending with R? With an S, I would have reassure. Now, do I have erasure on my rack? I do. Have I blocked the only spot for it? I may have done. Does Pilar take an E? No, it doesn't. Oh, wow. That's a shame. Erasure. Just nowhere for it. Nothing goes in front of you there. Oh, wow, that is most irksome. I wasn't deliberately trying to block lanes. I not good. 12 minutes on my clock, 49 tiles in the bag. Anything ending in L? Don't think so. What about R? No. Well, it'll be galling if Erasure does play somewhere. So what about these pairs of letters? P, E. I have super. No, what about ED? No, and only 1 pointers. I could do with playing precisely the tiles I've drawn, U, R, and E. Is there really nothing with the N? Don't think so. I'd like to keep the board open. Now, can I score off the Z? I want to play off E and R. I can play Hugh. 21 points, which isn't terrible with 1-pointers. And duplicate R, not dreadful either, only 2 to come. I am going with this. So, I have Adorers and Drosserer. Does either play. Zine takes a B as well as an S. 2 Bs to come. Oh, wow, fantastic. 33 for opponent, but File takes an S, and I have got Adorers. So, is this best? Anything beginning with N, a double-double? Don't think so. Yeah, I think this is the play. Still one blank to come. Adorers for 86. I dodged the blank, but pretty good rack. I've got Good Man, which plays in column 14. Wow. Will that stay available? It actually plays in 2 spots in column 14, but both could be blocked. And agendum is its anagram. But I think column 14 is the only 7-letter lane. And this doesn't look like a rack which makes a lot of 8s. So what about a floating N? I lead by 60. Not seeing anything. What about I? Don't think Guide Man is good. Opponent changes. Oh, my word. How long's that been available for? So opponent changes. I'm down to 10 minutes. So what have I got? Agendum setting up a triple-triple. Can't be best. Good Man setting up a triple-triple. Or Good Man here. 72 points, avoiding the triple-triple. Providing a super hot spot in column 15. Let me just pause. Can this play even lower? E's got to go next to R. So agendum doesn't work. Good Man doesn't work. So it is just those 2 spots. What am I doing? Madness. More madness. Yeah. 72 points. How dangerous is this middle triple? Well, to put it in perspective, I lead by 60. I'm going to lead by 130. Opponent's unlikely to bingo in column 15. And there are hot spots top and bottom of this column. I'm going with this. Wow, great draw. There may not be a bingo here, probably isn't, but it's balanced, and I have a B for Zainab. Fantastic. So I could play Bow here. They're turning over 5 tiles, increasing my chances of drawing the blank. But maybe opponent changed because they had the blank and were getting rid of non-bingo-y tiles. And indeed, they've played non-bingo-y tiles. Interesting. Do I play my B onto Zainab, one unseen, or do I play in column... Oh, I think this is an easier decision. Bohir for 54 is more than I would get in row J, and I'm denying opponent this spot. Anything even better? DA-H is good. So that would score more, but I think I do want to turn over tiles with a blank to come. And I could play house. Interesting. That's not a bad idea. Burning the S isn't particularly useful on this board. 51 points and retaining the B for Zainab. Yep, I'm going with this. And I draw another S. That's nice. So, very unbingo-y. I certainly haven't drawn the blank. I've got a lot of scoring tiles. Fortunately, I've got a couple of vowels to help play them. So I have bop in row J. I lead by 150. What have you got, Naomi 8? 16 minutes on their clock. Q's non-bingo-y, V and Y are non-bingo-y, but the rest is fairly bingo-y. But where are the lanes? Just the N, and bop is going to take that out. Fantastic. Great. Well, a good spot. I hadn't really considered the front hooks for Zine, A and E. Opponent has not created any new lanes, but they have taken out the Zainab spot. That's irksome. But I don't think this is terrible. 14 tiles in the bag. And I can see I could play fab here. 3 A's to come. Let me count the remaining vowels. 7 out of 21, so it's vowel dry. Ode is good. But I'd like to keep one vowel. Fab is 29 points. That's a great sort of score to get at this stage of the game and with this level of lead. Plus, I'm taking out this L. Not the most useful of bingo floaters, but extinguishing it denies opponent completely. However, what is available is this floating N. So, what I could do is confab, 26 points. C is a bingo floater, but I've got a great lead, and if opponent bingos in column 2, I can just help myself to a triple word square. And this is turning over 5 tiles and definitely taking out the floating N. I'm going with this. And I have packers and repacks. Should opponent choose to open the board. I don't think I have anything through a C. And these pairs have been taken out. Now, packers and repacks both have an S at the end, so this S doesn't help. Do I have anything with an I? Wow, such a nice looking rack. Certainly nothing with a V. So the 6 minutes on my clock, the I looks most useful. Not seeing anything. What about S? No. And T not available. V and L available. In a 9. Column 12, no good. Definitely nothing with a C. So, why don't I do this? Repacks for 40. That's pretty decent. Oh, 5 tiles in the bag. I'm emptying the bag. 40 points, 430. This guarantees a win. There's a B, a Q, and 2 Ys, all of which could end up on my rack. But last turn, opponent played 4 tiles, so they'd do well to dodge all of those. Normally you would leave tiles in the bag, but I think the right thing to do is to play this. I think opponent does bingo sometimes, but vastly more often they don't. I'm going with this. Great. Opponent has BM, Q, and Y. I may even be able to go out myself. If V hadn't been played, I would have had Synodal. So, do I have anything with a C? I have Cyano, which doesn't go out. No, I'm looking for outs at the moment. I don't think there are any sixes on my rack. I could be wrong. So where are the floaters? What about this R? Not seeing anything with that. E not available. Okay, so just 36 points for opponents. I would have Noyades through an E. So 4 minutes on my clock. What am I going to do? Well, interesting. Opponent's got M and Q. Are they stuck with the Q? They've got chin. Let me do this a bit more methodically. And they've only got chin. Let me do the downs as well to be absolutely sure. Yeah, they've only got chin. So, let me play din. And see what they do. They should just play their M unless I've missed a Q spot. Wow, 14 minutes. So I can score well at the top with AY. And I think I can increase that score by playing just the Y first. And then A or O next turn. Always slightly nerve-wracking. There are occasions when you accidentally create a spot for opponent. So let me play my A or O, and it will make a difference as to final score. So 2 minutes on my clock. Any obvious spots for A and O? Par and Po both good. Okay, I don't have time to do this precisely. Let me play Oi and Ob. Opponent passes, so A, N and S. I just need to play these off singularly. So where's best for A? Ober and Aim. 10. 8 for a go. 1 minute on my clock. Eight for R and E. That's not as much. So, Ober and Aim for 10. I should have checked that I can definitely play my remaining tiles, but I surely can. Opponent passes, so N next. NA for 2. None for 3. 1 minute on my clock. Gosh, nothing better than none for 3. I think that's unlikely. Any for 4. Nag for 5. 40 seconds left. Anything better than nag for 5? Well, there was NY up here for the same. Yeah, Amen for 8. 20 seconds left. Just always pausing, making sure I'm not creating a Q spot. Opponent passes, now my S. 7 for Obers. 16 seconds left, that's annoying. Confab, 10 seconds left. This is 14. No time. And the final score, 310 for opponent, 521 for me, a winning margin of 211 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. So it was opponent to go first. They had this rack, no bingo. They play Wanted. Ginny, okay, yeah, that's quite nice. What do? I play Zin for 32. Yeah, Ginny, probably better, but it does take a D in front. And although opponent doesn't have one, when you create that sort of move, which does take a front hook, you're just introducing volatility into the game. And certainly if you've got a ratings advantage over your opponent in the early stages of the game, you do not want to be introducing volatility. Now, opponent, what do? They play Whinier. My rack, I thought about Jurga, and I went with Jizz for the same reason. I didn't want to introduce the volatility. And opponent is sitting there with the blank. And they play Pell. Rigatoni, the only bingo, so delighted to spot that. And poor opponent, their rack deteriorating. They play Gox, burning the blank. Now, M9. Oh, Suave and Socks for 35. That's a decent score. I play Juve for 18, which is 17 fewer points. But I think AERS is probably 17 points better than Just A. Just A is probably worth about 1. AERS, I would say, is between 15 and 20 and possibly maybe 18. So there could be precisely a 17-point difference. But even if it's close, I prefer the play with the better rack leave. Now, opponent still with the Q, plays 12 for 38. And I have Erasure blocked. No bingo playable. So I play Hugh for 21. Keeping AERS. Yeah, I like that play. Looking at score and rack leave, I'm not seeing anything better. Opponent plays File, which is fantastic because look at this. I have Adorers for 86, and that really set me on the path to victory. Except my lead still only 60 points. So opponent changes. And this sets me on the path to victory. Because opponents changed and suddenly I'm not just 60 points ahead, I am 130 ahead. And this 8-point sacrifice I think is worth taking to remove the triple threat. Probably opponent's best chance at victory. So, what is opponent doing with the Q? They've just changed, haven't they? Yeah, opponent changes, then I play Goodman. Opponent's got the Q. Wow. I wonder if they were fishing for the U and the blank. They must have retained the Q when they changed. Don't do that. So, I play Leone. And now I have... Well, yeah, I thought about Bohea retaining the S, but decided to play House, retaining the B for Zainab. But that sneaky plan is removed with opponent's play of Tarot, but look at this. Opponent could have played Cat in that same spot for 60 points and a bingo-y rack leave. Now, maybe they were feeling a little discouraged by the score. So there's one main bingo lane and Confab takes that out, so I'm happy with that play. Opponent plays a Visto, and oh wow, there is a bingo. Ear picks through the eye. Ouch. Well done if you spotted that. tricky one to see, but, well, it's not even high probability, but it's certainly a play which I would hope to see. But fortunately, it doesn't affect the outcome of the game. Opponent plays barely. Keemers, that's one of the new plays. M2 through this E. Now I identified that opponent was stuck with the, or could be stuck with the Q. And that's not taken into account by the recommendations here. So I play Din. Opponent plays Am. Again, these moves can be ignored. Opponent changes. Opponent doesn't change, they pass. Yeah, this is only worthwhile going through to make sure opponent doesn't have a play. I'm not saying my plays are best, it's just there's no way of knowing. No play for opponent. Where are we up to? My rack. I play our men. Still no play for opponent. And finally, was there anything better than confab? There was not. So, there we go. What a game. Over 500 points. Always exciting stuff. Down to my last 6 seconds with opponent on 14. So, they were playing fast. But it's the person who gets over the line in first place, not with the most time, who wins. So, super exciting stuff. Delighted to spot Rigatoni and Goodman along the way. Many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.